Good morning, everyone. Today's scripture reading is coming out of the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5. It reads, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding." One of the themes throughout the Bible is for us to trust in the Lord, in addition to many other things. But trust in the Lord is one of the biggest things that we can do to really glorify God with our heart and with our actions, because life has a way of overwhelming you. There's so many things that can draw our attention away from putting them on God, and instead putting them on our circumstances. It's easy to trust in God in the good times, but then when the trials come, when there's conflict in a relationship, when financial trouble, all these various things, various scenarios that you could come up with, they cause us to take our eyes off the Lord and start to put them on our circumstances. But we have to learn, as the scripture says, to trust in the Lord with all our heart, every fiber of our being. A lot of these testimonies are here so that we can see how faithful God is, and we have to remind ourselves that there's nothing too big for the Lord. God is bigger than any situation that we may find ourselves in. I remember a pastor once saying, we have to learn to, instead of tell God how big our circumstance is, tell the circumstance how big the God that we serve is. And so, trust in the Lord with all your heart, means every aspect, every area of your life, your marriage, your children, your finances, anything that you can think of. We have to learn to trust in God with all that we have, and not just some things, all things. God is faithful, and so we have to remind ourselves that in the same way that God has seen other people through their situation, God will see us through their situation. It's not something that to think, that's that person. No. Every testimony that we encounter in the Bible and every testimony that we hear is a testament, not of the person who is sharing the story, but it's a testament of who God is. And that's what we have to remind ourselves, that it's not about us, it's about the greatness of the God that we serve. And so it should inspire confidence in us. It should inspire hope. It should give us that extra drive to trust in the Lord in every aspect of our life. And so that's the challenge. The challenge is not to take our eyes off the Lord, regardless of what's going on around us, and even sometimes our own feelings. Our own feelings are deceptive. Our own feelings might not coincide with what the Bible teaches. Or maybe people struggle with depression, anxiety, all these various things that compete with our trust in the Lord. And sometimes we just have to remind ourselves, like scriptures like this: trust in the Lord with all your heart, not some parts, not certain aspects, not at certain times, but with all your heart at all times. It says, verse 5, chapter 3 of Proverbs, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding." And I believe that second part is really important. Do not lean on your own understanding, because sometimes our mind has a way of working against us. It starts to figure things out, tries to figure things out, or it starts to put negative interpretations on people's actions, or it starts to contemplate worst case scenarios. And before you know it, your mind is just racing, and now your feelings are following you. You're feeling overwhelmed. But sometimes you gotta just speak to your mind and quiet it down, and just be still and let God be God, and learn to just trust in Him and His faithfulness. One thing that I'd have to say, it's not on our timetable; it's always on God. So whether your prayers answered right away, or it takes some time, just know that God is faithful. He knows what He's doing. He knows when to do it, and we just have to learn to trust that. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding." God bless.